Here we are, straight up 6 o'clock, and welcome to our online audience, and thank you for joining us. This is the League of Women Voters Candidate Forum for City Council District 6. I am your host, Shelley Roars, spokesperson for the League of Women Voters here in the Pikes Peak region. In partnership with Citizens Project, we appreciate them. We are coming to you live from the Colorado Springs Police Department here in the Stetson Hills Division Community Room. I believe it's in name of Ms. Laureen Kramer. I think the sign was outside. So thank you for the use of the facility today. Our candidates with us tonight running for City Council District 6 are candidate number 1, Dr. Parth Milpacum, candidate number 2, Roland Rainey Jr., and candidate number 3, Aaron Schick. Thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate your time tonight. Your moderator for tonight's forum is Chris Davis with Citizens Project, and I'm basically going to turn it over to Chris and have you get us started.
Thank you. My name is Chris. I am with Citizens Project. If you don't know about Citizens Project, we are a nonpartisan nonprofit serving the Pikes Peak region since 1992. We are advocates for equity, inclusion, and justice. And during election cycles such as this, we focus our efforts on expanding civic engagement and promoting voter education. And as such, we're grateful to the League and to all of the co-sponsors from across the city for facilitating this forum and all of the other city council forums. That being said, we will get right into it and have the first candidate in alphabetical order, Candidate Milpacum, give his 2-minute opening statement. That will be followed by Candidate Rainey and then Candidate Schick.
Okay, good evening. Thank you to the League, thank you to the Citizens Project for hosting this event. I appreciate all of you that are in the audience in person and also those who are watching us at home. A little bit about myself, Parth Milpacum, father, husband, longtime resident of Colorado Springs community, engineer by trade. I came to this country 35 years back with a couple of suitcases and less than $100 in my pocket. I went to University of Wyoming, earned my doctorate in chemical and petroleum engineering. After that, went and worked in the oil and gas industry. Colorado Springs became home. Education was the one that opened doors of the poverty that I grew up in. And when my daughter started attending public education schools out here, I got involved in her education. And I was a little bit dismayed about the quality of education that kids were receiving. And I decided in 2019 that I'm going to roll up my sleeves and do something about it. I ran for District 11 School Board, got elected in 2019 and got re-elected in 2023, current board president for the last 4 years. We have prioritized student academics, and this district is going in the right direction based on what we are hearing from the state as well. We did that by prioritizing students, putting students first. That's the same focus that I will bring to City Council if I'm elected. When I talk to people in the community, they are concerned about kitchen table issues, that their voice is being ignored. My only focus is Colorado Springs first. That means that I'm going to focus on issues that resonate with our community and the economic vitality of our city. My main priorities are growth and infrastructure, public safety, and also the economic development jobs primarily. I bring proven elected leadership. I've served in elected office for 6 years. I've got a track record, so all you have to do is to Google me and find out what I stand for. Thank you again, Parth Milpacum.
Thank you, Candidate. Thank you, Candidate Rainey, 2 minutes.
Okay, good evening, everyone who's here in attendance. Also, thank you to our host, and thank you to those online that are listening in. I'm Roland Rainey, running for City Council District 6, and I actually like the fact that this one is actually here in District 6. I'm actually a retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel, served 26.5 years. I actually am a space operations expert by trade. During that time frame, I've also had the utmost honor to lead America's sons and daughters in combat. I'm a decorated combat veteran who served in Afghanistan. I'm also a business owner here in Colorado Springs. I own a business and I actually employ 7 members and we are contributing directly into our city's economy. Also, I'm a huge volunteer in our city. I'm on the school board of directors for Banning Lewis Academy. I'm also currently on the chair for the Pikes Peak Area Council for Government, Community Advisory Committee. And I'm also the 4th Judicial District current commissioner for the Nominating Commission. This is where we vet, interview, and nominate judges to the governor. My 3 priorities are pretty straightforward. Public safety. Crime is increasing dramatically, and we have to give the resources to our police officers and our firefighters. Infrastructure, we have to keep up with our current growth, especially here in District 6. A lot of people know about Mark Shuffle and the expansion, so we got to keep up with that. And then also keeping U.S. Space Command here in Colorado Springs, also with protecting and serving first-class service to our military and our veterans. RolandRainey.com. Thank you.
Thank you. And candidate Schick.
Thank you. My name is Aaron Schick. I am also running for District 6 here, and I want to thank the Citizens Project for also hosting this event close to home, even though we're in a sideways blizzard. I am a financial advisor. I've got 13 years of professional financial advising experience, and I want to tell you a little story about what happened with that rapid growth here today. I'm kind of running under a common sense banner here. There is a lot of change going on in our district, and every citizen I have door knocked and spoken with has been against growth in some capacity. We have a problem where one of the biggest things that the city council does is they vote on land use issues, and that is one of the biggest things that these city council people will do. So I am staunchly against growth and rapid growth. I think there are 3 huge aspects. Fire safety, this is something that we need to address. We need to get evacuation mapping, and we need to slow down the rapid growth. The police, we're here in the police station. The police are either the lowest paid or the second lowest paid of the municipalities here in Colorado. That's something that we also need to catch up on. So I would be moving for slower growth as well as public safety and increasing our police officers' average wages to match that of the Front Range and or Colorado. And finally, I believe that we need to look at the LART tax as a way to not raise taxes on any of our citizens, because I'm staunchly against raising taxes. That's another large position that I have. However, I think we need to find a way to be a tourist town, and that's going to be by looking at that LART tax. So common sense voters, please consider me. I am definitely for slowing growth as well as keeping Colorado Springs spacious and open. Thank you.
Thank you. We are now going to move on to our candidate questions. For our first question, candidate Schick, you will be answering this first. You will be followed by candidate Melpacum and candidate Rainey. So our first question is, in your view, what is the biggest challenge in District 6, and how do you propose addressing it? You have 1 minute.
Thank you. I feel strongly this is handling growth. My commute when I moved here 16 years ago downtown, I started going to church at New Life downtown, and it was about 10 to 12 minutes. My commute downtown now is over 20 minutes. The roads have not kept up with the growth, and then when you look out east of Powers, you have urban sprawl. So I think the biggest factor is going to be stopping the pro-growth candidates from approving every single land use issue that comes up. I'm going to motion to vote with the people. So I will always be representing the people. I have not taken a single dollar from any special interest groups, so I am a completely at the will of the people position. Every candidate I've talked with has been against growth. So it's going to be slowing down growth and then looking at those real infrastructure projects seriously and closely so we can figure out how to not have our commutes double. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Candidate Melpacum?
Yeah, I've lived in this Colorado Springs for 28 years, and in that time, the population has almost doubled, and most of that has happened north and east of Colorado Springs. Powers was pretty much empty when I came here, and now you see all the growth that is taking place here. So growth and infrastructure that goes with it. I'm sick and tired of all these potholes that I see. The road that I'm driving on, the residential road, is littered with potholes. I understand that the community stepped up and supported with 2C initiative, but we got to make sure that that money is going to fixing roads prioritize roads before you start prioritizing the pavements and the gutters and the sidewalks that are there. Growth, infrastructure, public safety that goes along with it. The response time has become 24 minutes for responding to emergency calls, and that's also because of unmitigated growth that is happening on the north and the east.
Thank you. And Candidate Schick. Or excuse me, Candidate Rainey. Apologies.
So the question was, what is the biggest challenge in District 6? And I'll answer that twofold. Number one is public safety. Over the last 8 days, there's been 7 shootings in Colorado Springs. A lot of you also know that at the beginning of the year, just right down the road here, we had a shooting, a murder, and that was right in our King Soopers parking lot, something that we don't necessarily experience in District 6 a lot. So public safety has to be top priority for us. 34% increase in misdemeanors. Also, the infrastructure piece. Mark Shuffle is expanding, and that's great for us. However, Banning Lewis is also expanding, which means what? Traffic density. And we are all experiencing that between Powers in Dublin and also Mark Shuffle in Dublin. So we have to get infrastructure under control and keep it in lockstep with growth.
Thank you. For this question, we will start with Candidate Malpacum, then Candidate Rainey, and then Candidate Schick. The question is, who has endorsed you? And that's 30 seconds.
That's a wide list of people. I would recommend that people go to my website, Parth4, that's 4cos.com. I've been endorsed by the Gazette. That came out just this weekend. I've been endorsed by the former mayor, John Suthers, including all 3 former city council members that represented District 6 over the past 10 years. All of them have endorsed me. A wide array of respected community members and business leaders have endorsed me.
Thank you. Candidate Rainey?
I'm really excited to answer this question. I've been endorsed by the current president of City Council, Randy Helms. I've been endorsed by the current senator for Senate District 10, Senator Liston. I've been endorsed by the Police Protective Association and also the Firefighters Association because they know of my commitment to public safety. And I'm beyond proud to be endorsed by our sheriff, Sheriff Rawball. There are a lot of other folks that I've been endorsed by. Please go to RolandRainey.com to look at the rest of those endorsements.
Thank you. And Candidate Schick?
Thank you very much for this question. I too am excited. You will have to do your own research on this, guys. I have not taken a single endorsement. I have refused all endorsements, including the lady in my dinner club who wanted to buy, my opinion with $100. I would highly recommend you do your own vetting on this. There is a reason why some of the people on the stage have been endorsed. It's because they're part of a corrupt group of establishment agencies and building groups. Please consider doing that research and finding out who has endorsed all the candidates. Thank you.
Thank you. For this next question, we will start with Candidate Rainey, then move to Candidate Schick, and then end with Candidate Malpacum. What relevant experience do you have to bring to the role of City Council member? And that's 1 minute.
Thank you very much for that question. This one is very easy for me. The Department of Defense entrusted me with national security assets worth $6 billion. As a school board of directors member and also the chair of the finance committee for Banning Lewis Academy, I oversee $17 million. As a business owner, I oversee $12 million. So when it comes to overseeing federal and local budgets, I am the guy who can work with the mayor's office to look at our city's budget and start peeling back where we are having wasteful spending and saving money and actually reinvesting money in areas that are more important, i.e. public safety.
Thank you. Candidate Schick.
Thank you. As degree in financial planning and counseling, as well as being responsible for looking over personal finances and getting a ship that is off the rails, on the rails, with hundreds to thousands of different personal businesses, personal finances, as well as we did business-to-business retirement plans as well. My experience looking over balance sheets is pretty aggressive. It's going to look a little bit like Doge. If you elect me, I am going to find money that there wasn't found before, and I'm going to propose initiatives that free up money that other people thought was not freed up. So if you want somebody who's outside the establishment, who also has an extreme level of experience cutting costs and expenditures, I wish you guys could look at my personal budget and my personal finances at home, because I am able to hit 40 and 50% savings rates when it comes to certain things. So I will definitely look at the finances and the budget of this town, and I will present opportunities for us to make progress that you guys have not seen before. Thank you.
Thank you. And candidate Mel Packham.
Thank you. The only candidate that's sitting up here that has proven elected experience, that is the community putting me in office in 2019 and the community re-electing me based on my track record the 4 years. I had oversight of the District 11 school budget as the board treasurer, and as the board president, guided the district out of the pandemic. School district that has 23,000 plus students. Responsible stewardship of taxpayer dollars. That comes with serving on the District 11 school board. Accountability. I have repeatedly reiterated from the board dais for the community to hold the board accountable to produce outcomes, and we produced outcomes. In 2 years, the district moved 15 schools from the priority improvement or the state watch list to performance list, and that was from 15 schools to 3 schools in 2 years. Proven, elected, experience.
Thank you. For this next question, we will start with candidate Schick, move to candidate Mel Packham, and end with candidate Rainey. The question is, if elected, how do you plan to stay close to your constituents' needs and keep them engaged in the community's work? You have 1 minute.
Thank you. I love this question because I would like to have an app that every city council member had to look at, where each week there is a question published and people can sign up, they can vote on the app, and then we have to actually look and read what our constituents say. I am all for this. I don't know why this hasn't been done in cities a long time ago already. Also, the importance of hearing from constituents. I have been door knocking. I will continue to hold town halls. I'm going to continue to have forums. But if you choose to elect me, within the first weeks of being elected, I will have a forum with all the people who have been putting me in office, and I'm going to hear what the citizens actually want. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Mel Packham.
Again, I'll let my track record speak for itself. 6 years on the school board. The number of board meetings that I've missed, 0. I'm accessible, I'm available, I attend school events. Every email that I receive, I respond back to it. I hope to bring the same work ethic to City Council. When I attend and meet with people, some of them agree with me, some of them may disagree with me. But one thing about me that you can rest assured, I will listen respectfully, I will collaborate thoughtfully, I will weigh all perspectives objectively before making that decisions. I've got an engineering background, so data drives my research. I listen to every perspective that comes, but I let data drive that decision. I'm accessible. Any phone call, email, I respond back to.
Thank you. And candidate Rainey.
Well, I can tell you right now, when elected, the first 60 days, I will be holding a town hall. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't care if 2 people show up or 2,000. I will be holding a town hall. That town hall will become a recurring, on the schedule town hall. I will be there. Once again, it could be 2 members show up, 200, 2,000, I will be there. Also, when there is critical topics that come before us, come before the city council, I will have immediate online town halls. I have to hear from the constituents. Why? Because you've told me while door knocking, your voices have been lost. I need to carry your voice into city council, and the only way into city hall, and the only way to do that is for me to have that ongoing engagement with you. So once again, first 60 days, town hall. From there, reoccurring town halls, and then anytime there's a very specific issue, we'll have online town halls. Thank you.
Thank you. For this next question, we will start with candidate Malpacum, move to candidate Rainey, and end with candidate Schick. Colorado Springs Utilities is looking to diversify its resources while meeting state objectives for environmentally responsible, sustainable practices. Within the City Council's role as the Colorado Springs Utilities Board, what vision are you advocating that Colorado Springs Utilities adopt to meet the challenges of our growing community? And that's 1 minute.
Okay, thank you. As I introduced myself, I said my background, I've got a doctorate in chemical and petroleum engineering, worked 25 years in the oil and gas industry, so I hope to bring my real life experience and expertise to utilities, serving on the utilities board. The concern to me is all the mandates that come from the state that the utilities and city has to abide by, but by doing that, we end up increasing the pocketbook cost for our consumers. Working in the fossil fuel industry, I know that there is environmentally safe ways that we can use fossil fuels. I'm not against renewables, but I want to go through it in a methodical way. So we got to sometimes push back at all the regulations and mandates that are coming from state so we can save money for our residents. Thank you.
Thank you. And candidate Rainey.
One of the first things we have to do as members, board members of CSU, is to start looking at our power distribution rates. So currently, going into 2026, highly recommend that everybody in here and online, please go look at what the vision is. The vision is to expand our power distribution bank so we can better manage power load and power rates. Also, when it comes to water, water is a huge conversation within CSU and amongst our community. One of the things we need to start doing is peeling back the agreements that we currently have in place. We got 3 main sources of water coming off the Homestake Pipeline, the Blue River Pipeline, and the Southern Delivery Pipeline that's coming up from Pueblo. We also have agreements with Aurora. I do believe that there are some agreements that are being violated. We have to go to the table with all of those stakeholders and take a look at what our usages are and making sure that as a city, we're getting our fair share.
Thank you. And candidate Schick.
Yeah, utilities, huge issue. It's kind of a monopoly in town, so I learned that we definitely need, we're probably the only group who has the biggest factor in terms of questioning the budget, and Dave Donaldson as well has said there is not a lot you can do. If you elect me, I will strive with everything in my power to understand the one-party town that has a utilities monopoly in this and look at this. I am also for renewables if they make financial sense. So I think in the last 20 years, it never really made a financial sense where you could actually be profitable with renewables. However, I think now if we shop right and we actually have responsible people spending your hard-earned money well, you can pair renewables with a profitable energy diversification solution like peaker plants. Thank you.
Thank you. For this next question, we will start with candidate Rainey, move to candidate Schick, and end with candidate Malpacum. How will you not only prevent further library closures in Colorado Springs, but expand the Pikes Peak Library District's footprint? That's 1 minute.
Well, definitely, this is not an easy answer. I think we've seen arguments on both sides of the aisle. One, looking at why libraries are there in the first place. They're there to educate our communities. They're there to educate our kids. It gives us a place to where we can expand our knowledge as a community. Now, while I understand in the digital world, people are going more to reading online books and so forth. However, the one critical aspect about a library is the fact that it is accessible to everyone. Everyone, no matter what your background is, no matter what your economic status is, it is available to everyone. And we as a collective community, forget what side of the aisle you're on, as a collective community, we all need to be on board with making sure that our libraries stay in place.
Thank you. Candidate Schick.
Thank you. Yeah, I've gotten a few emails about this, and I am all for libraries, and I know that they have way more than just books. I also realize that we have a homelessness issue, and I believe education is the absolute component. So partnering and pairing and putting these two things together in a safe, structured manner is a really good idea. There's also a lot of open space in libraries, and I think this is actually an opportunity area that the city should look at closely and see what we can do to make that be the meeting ground where our public-private partnerships are coming together a lot more to tackle the issues that are facing the town, instead of just talking about, well, should we close this school, or should we close this library, or should we open this, or do we need to build more? There's so many different directions and things that I would like to say about this with regards to when we do something over here, we don't look over here. We need to look at this as a holistic thing, and I think we need to approach this from a position of it being an opportunity that the library is already built, as opposed to a liability, and we need to consider closing it. Thank you.
Thank you. And candidate Mel Packham.
Yeah, simple answer for me. Libraries are such magical places for me. When I grew up, because we didn't travel very much at the time, no vacations, that's where I went to let my imagination roam. So for me, the city council is responsible for appointing the trustees that oversee the library. We got to appoint trusted, qualified, competent people who puts the success of the library district in focus, who are also willing to listen to the people responsibly, are unbiased, come to the table with the best interest of the public in mind. Closing schools is the same thing. When you close a school in a neighborhood, it turns off hope in that neighborhood for me. Closing libraries, same thing. You don't turn off hope in a thing. Closing libraries is the last resort. Thank you.
Thank you. For this next question, we will start with candidate Schick, move on to candidate Mel Packham, and end with candidate Rainey. What guidelines will you use to evaluate decisions regarding development in Colorado Springs? What questions would you ask upon the proposal of a development? That's 1 minute.
Yeah, I'm against the developments, so it's going to be against them, and I'm going to be finding out all the corruption and all the evil stuff that's been going on to completely take the will of the people. When you go to these city council meetings, it is a wake. You're listening to the citizens complain, and they're basically going to a funeral, and then there's a unanimous passing of the land use issue. I believe the pendulum is swinging back. I believe the citizens are waking up. I believe we're starting to make moves that say, hey, I'm going to actually pay attention. I'm going to actually look at who I'm electing, and I'm going to make some changes. And I think that has happened a little bit. However, this continues. So I am going to come at the builders with the absolute most purest white-hot fire to make sure everything is publicly safe, fire safe, police safe, environmentally safe. You name about the safety, guys, it's for your safety and protection. We'll get it done. So this is how they use these words to say, oh, we're not going to do this, or we are going to do this. If it doesn't make sense from even the slightest perspective from a safety or a public health or any dynamic, I will stand up and stop development in District 6. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Mel Packham.
Yeah, Colorado Springs is such a desirable place to live. You just have to step outside. So people are moving in here. The population has doubled. We can say no development to it, then the house prices are going to skyrocket, and nobody's going to be able to afford homes out here. So when we do development, it's got to be sensible development. We got to balance the economic vitality that drives the city, but also listen to the people that talk to us that they want the small town feel. They don't want Colorado Springs to look like Denver. So we got to take that into consideration. So if you're talking about annexations, it's got to be sequential annexations. That makes a lot more sense. You use the current utilities and infrastructure. Development should not put an undue burden on the current resources and infrastructure we have, and it certainly cannot be on the backs of our existing residents by asking them to pay more fees.
Thank you. And candidate Rainey.
First and foremost, what we need to do is look at any time a development comes up, there should be 4 points we look at. Point number 1, is there going to be a burden on the city? Meaning, is this going to result in any type of tax increase or any type of utility increase in rates, anything of that nature? Secondly, any land that's being annexed, is there infrastructure already in place that can be leveraged without an investment? Why is that important? Because it plays into number 3. Number 3, if that infrastructure is not there, now we have to find a way to invest into infrastructure. And guess who's that going to pass off to? It's going to pass off to the citizens. And we don't want that either. And then number 4, what is the weight on our public safety? If we're going far out, now we're putting more pressure on our police officers to travel far out. Our firefighters, the apparatuses that they need, the trucks to keep those engines going, they got to travel far out. So now we have a bigger issue on that end. Those 4 points are the 4 points we should look at when we're doing any type of thoughts on development.
Thank you. This next question, we will start with candidate Malpacum, move to candidate Rainey, and end with candidate Schick. The question: transparency is critical to public trust. Openness about campaign donations and the role of special interests is of concern to some voters. So here's a 2-part question. Do you support any campaign finance reforms, and are there any donations you would not accept? You have 1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute. Thank you. We all play by the same rules. So as far as campaign finance reforms, I'm open to looking at that, especially capping some of the maximums that candidates can receive in local elections. In school board elections that I ran, there was a maximum. In city council elections, my understanding is there isn't. So campaign finance reform from that respect, yes, I'm open to it. And as far as support, I've got a broad, diverse support from a wide variety of people that support my leadership. And this, again, I ask you to look at my track record. In 6 years, in decisions that I've made on the school board, have not been influenced by anybody that donated to my campaign. It's always been what's in the best interest of students, and here it'll be what is in the best interest of our community.
Thank you. Candidate Rainey.
Yes, I'm very much in favor of campaign finance reform. That way you, the citizens, totally feel when you're supporting a candidate that you're supporting that candidate without any outside influence. If we want to cap it at a certain amount, let's cap it at a certain amount. That way you feel no one is being quote unquote bought. When it comes to my campaign, and I'm telling everyone out there, there's a website on the city clerk's webpage, Tracer, where you can see all the donations out there. I am so proud to have so much grassroots donations come my direction because people believe in me. They want me to succeed at this. They want me to represent them. I would definitely tell you grassroots campaign donations are very much a part of my campaign. I'm very transparent about it. Please go to my website, go to Tracer. You can look at every last donation I've ever received, but I definitely believe in campaign finance reform.
Thank you. And candidate Schick.
Yes, $0 of campaign allowed money contributions. Cap it at 0. I have chosen to take a exploratory look at what does it look like to take no donations, because this is the question. This is the question. You're hearing certain things come out of certain people's mouth, but you're also seeing that there's certain things that are not adding up. So this is why if we just overhaul campaign finance, you guys will actually have a better chance of the truth. But what is also happening is there are certain groups who are not in this room, who are the builders in town, who give a very large sum of money to then pay for a bunch of signs out there. And that's why you're not gonna see me in office, and we're gonna hopefully see Rainey in office or another situation. So please consider voting for me, Aaron Schick. I have refused all campaign donations. I believe in campaign finance reform. It should be 0. And I look forward to the opportunity to earn and work for your vote without a housing group getting to come in with thousands of dollars and buy votes. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates. We're going to give you a short break. Maybe, does anybody need a refill on water? We good? Okay. Just in case. So we just want to kind of mention the League of Women Voters here. We are nonpartisan. We are a nonprofit organization. The municipal elections are really our jam. Again, these are nonpartisan races. That's the great thing about this. D6, however, is the second lowest voter turnout in our city, unfortunately. So we want to improve that. So we want to empower you. Please make sure you're texting 10 people that you know that may not be voting in this election. Hey, your ballot, you should have your ballot. It's really simple. Please turn it in.
2 weeks left. There's plenty of time to
That's right. 2 weeks from today, due at 7 p.m., literally 2 weeks from today. Thank you for that reminder, Candace. Again, candidates, I hope you did fill out our candidate survey, which is vote411.org. If you did not, there is still time to fill that out. I know you've gotten lots of emails about it, but that is our membership survey. We ask you some pretty basic questions again. We want to educate voters. That is our mission, to empower you and defend democracy. We also believe in moving municipal elections to a different time in the year, preferably in the fall. So do know that we ask for your support as candidates. Lowest voter turnout is in spring municipal elections. So please encourage your people to support that effort. Thank you again to our sponsors, again to Citizens Project. Make sure you grab something to eat, and Studio 809 Podcast. We appreciate you. Also elected officials, candidate Dr. Melpackham and Mr. Rainey, obviously you were elected to school board. I did not see any other elected officials in the room, so we do appreciate that, appreciate your service to our community, so thank you. And so I'm done. Candidates, ready for the next question? Get it going.
Thank you. And with this question, we will start with candidate Rainey, go to candidate Schick, and end with candidate Melpackham. The question is, what motivated you to run? And that's 1 minute.
What motivated Roland Rainey to run? This actually stems back years. When I brought a semi-professional football team to this community as a business owner, I was so shocked at how this community wrapped their arms around me. They brought me in, really close in. And what it opened my eyes to was other opportunities, other volunteer opportunities on boards and commissions. And once I did that, one of the things I learned was just how powerful a volunteer really is, and how they can contribute to their community. So I love this city. I've been living here for 17 plus years with my wife and my 3 daughters. I love this city, and everything that it's given to me, I want to give back.
Thank you. Candidate Schick.
Thank you. Why did I run? I was at Purdue University, and there was a speech given about the bar being so low. And then I moved out here, and I started my career, and I realized, wow, Classic Homes is able to buy a lot, develop it with a golf course on it, and then 20 years later, they buy the golf course and develop it in homes, even though Classic Homes said that they would never develop that golf course. The bar is so low. We need sheepdogs who are going to stand up to the wolves out there. There are wolves here in Colorado Springs who are destroying our standard of living, our open space, the scenic open way of life we have. And I realized the bar is so low. You have to just step up, run, and run for what is right. And then it's going to be the citizens. I spoke with every citizen and every neighbor around, and I've still yet to meet a citizen who says, you know, I am for more building and I am for making it denser. So far, it is 100% vote against more land use from the constituents. So I'm here to represent the constituents, and that is all. Thank you.
Thank you. And candidate Melpackham.
Thank you. I've never considered myself to be a political person. This would have been the furthest thing I would have imagined 35 years back when I came to this country, that I would be in an elected office or run for elected positions. The reason I ran for school board was I was really dismayed with the quality of education our students were receiving. It was a passion for me. Serving on the school board, we made a difference in students' life. 2 months from now, I'll be out there on the dais handing out student diplomas. When they come out there and you can see the joy in their faces, that's the difference that you make in students' lives. I hope to bring the same leadership to City Council, make a difference in people's life so their voice can be heard as opposed to being ignored now.
Thank you. For this next question, we will start with candidate Schick and then move on to candidate Melpackham and end with candidate Rainey. The question is, mental health and concerns about substance abuse, particularly among opioids, were noted as key concerns of residents in the Pikes Peak region as part of the Colorado Health Foundation's Pulse survey. What do you see as critical steps to addressing these concerns? And that's 1 minute.
What are the critical concerns affecting the opioid crisis that is sweeping the whole world, really? I think, first of all, District 6, thankfully, in some ways, we don't have to deal with this on an eye-to-eye basis, but we need to do our job and we need to pitch in to helping with the homelessness issue. And so that has been one of the biggest areas and aspects that I think needs to be addressed. I'm more optimistic on this than most people, okay? I view this as an opportunity. I have learned there is a Colorado work program where homeless people can clean up medians and do some different things. I believe this starts with education. I believe when you have, if you look at the studies, and 1 minute to tackle drug problems in this town is not enough. When you look at the studies, rats that are in a community and are not separated do not do drugs. They're given all the cocaine, they're given all the drugs they want, and they do not choose to do drugs. So we need to actually start viewing the city like everybody is part of it, and we need to bring people together. We need to have public-private partnerships to meet with homeless people to make sure people have housing, and I would definitely take it to the big building companies to get more affordable housing in this town. Thank you.
Thank you. And candidate Mel Packham.
Yeah, I talked about the good thing about serving on the school board. The worst thing about serving on the school board is the funerals that I have to go to. Students that commit suicide at 12 and 13 years of age because they don't have any hope. That goes to the mental health issues. It's so prevalent in our community at this time. First, the stigma that's associated with mental health, we got to peel that out. Everybody goes through challenges at some point in time. So lean in, help support them as best as we can through supports and resources. As far as the opioid crisis, I'm against recreational marijuana. In the November elections that happened, I came and publicly recorded as a father and a school board member, making recreational marijuana available for adults. It's going to have an impact on students as well. But now the community spoke, and we got to live with the will of the community in that respect. But that's where I stand.
Thank you. And candidate Rainey.
Thank you for this question. I wanted to dig more into this. So what did I do? As one of the few candidates, I went down to the Springs Rescue Mission. I spoke with the new CEO because I wanted to see firsthand what the epidemic is here in Colorado Springs with our homeless, from a drug standpoint, from an alcohol standpoint, and I got a chance to tour that entire area. And I will tell you, one of the things we need to do is to make sure that we partner up with other nonprofits and get them involved in the process. We currently got some public safety programs like HOT and HOP to actually reach out to our homeless. But Springs Rescue Mission, when you go inside there and you see what is happening and the resources that are being provided to the homeless, to our citizens that are experiencing major drug problems, we gotta start partnering more and more with nonprofits and make this a community, a Colorado Springs community issue, and not just one sector.
Thank you. For this next question, we will start with candidate Mel Packham, move to candidate Rainey, and end with candidate Schick. This is from an online, this is an online question. The question is, if a measure passes by popular vote, will you respect the decision of the voters and make it happen? That's 30 seconds.
Yes, that's a simple answer. It's the will of the community. The measure passes by popular vote. I don't need 30 seconds for it. I respect the will of the voter.
Thank you. And candidate Rainey?
Easy answer, yes. The people have spoken. The moment we get outside of when the people speak and we do something different, guess what we lose? Remember that question earlier about transparency? We start to lose that trust, which means that transparency is no longer there. So yes, the answer is yes for me.
Thank you. And candidate Schick?
Yes. I have no special interest, so the interest is the people. So if it's 50 plus 1, we have to go with the 50% plus one person in my sphere of understanding. I will take this time to lobby for an app that allows those citizens to actually vote so that then you can hold your elected officials accountable so you can get on the record with a vote so that then when they vote against you, you will then be able to see that this was potentially not the ideal person you elected. Thank you.
Thank you. For the next question, we will start with candidate Rainey, then move to candidate Schick, and then end with candidate Malpacum. We anticipate changes in federal resources supporting emergency response, which can leave local governments more vulnerable. What would you do to strengthen Colorado Springs' fire mitigation and other disaster preparedness? That's 1 minute.
So first and foremost, I think everyone is very aware of the public safety tax to actually support public safety. When it comes to fire mitigation, I think one of the biggest concerns is as we continue to grow, especially when we grow westward, that we have not a good mapping, a mitigation mapping process in place in case a fire breaks out and people have to egress out of their neighborhoods and onto I-25. And we already know what the traffic is like on I-25. So we have to really deep dive into this issue. This is not going to be a very simplistic issue of, hey, let's pour more money at this or let's redirect money. We got to really go back to the basics of what is it do our public safety representatives, our police officers and our firefighters, what do they need to be successful in order for us to have the quality of life that we want?
Thank you. Candidate Schick?
Yeah, so the question is the national dodging going to pull money from our pocketbooks for fire mitigation, and what do we do about it? First and foremost, I think the steps that have been taken in regards to fire mitigation needs to continue. I am all for evacuation mapping and modeling. That will probably send the message to those builders that has been a theme that I've liked to get through tonight, that it is not, in fact, safe to build that far up against the mountains. This is going to be an issue that you guys are going to have in debate over the next 4 or 8 years. There will be candidates who are saying, well, we can pack them in, and there are other people who are going to say we don't. I am not for packing in more people. I am for slowing growth and looking at this from a slowing down the rapid changes so we can adapt and adjust to all the people who have come here lately. So I would take a more conservative approach on fire and mitigation and say we pause growth. Thank you.
Thank you. And candidate Malpacum?
Yeah, as far as federal cuts and those impacts on even the school district, we are monitoring it. There is no clarity on what is going to come from the federal government at this time. But the people in our community approved a $20 million TABOR refund that the community said that the city can use for fire mitigation efforts, and $1 million of that dollar is being used every month every year for the next 20 years for fire mitigation efforts, and that's going to be compensated on top by going out for grants. So talking to the fire department, they are proactive in this regard in terms of fire suppression materials that can be used to build houses, and the chipping program that they use to make sure that the fire is not going to come close to residential areas.
Thank you. For this next question, we will start with candidate Schick, then move to candidate Malpacum, and then end with candidate Rainey. The question is, would you support a resolution to ensure city council positions are appropriately compensated? That's 30 seconds.
I think this ties into campaign finance. Yes, with hesitancy. I think only the people who have ran before are running because those special interest groups are buying them out and they know it's a volunteer position. I think having the compensation being so low at $6,250 per year, having that compensation be so low creates a situation. I don't think we have it in our district, but you could have a situation where candidates are just running to be then bought out. So if you make it a paid for position, you will increase the quality of your electorate, and that bar will be raised, so then I don't have to run and do the right thing for the people. Thank you.
Thank you. And candidate Malpacum.
Yeah, I see both sides of this issue. Serving on the school board, we get paid $0 for the first 4 years, $0. And then I saw school board members with young kids to attend a board meeting. Sometimes they have to hire childcare. So they pay out of their pocket to attend a volunteer position in a school board meeting, elected position for which they don't get paid. a reasonable compensation so that this is a full-time job. It's going to take 30, 40 hours a week. Ultimately, this is going to require a modification of the city charter. The city council can come up with a resolution. This has got to go to the voters, who's got to decide then whether they want to approve a rise in city pay.
Thank you. Candidate Rainey?
Well, I definitely think it is something that we need to look at. The reason why is the amount of hours that a city council member brings to the table and the things that they are required to do and are requested to do, sometimes it's more than a full-time job. The current stipend is what, $6,250, I believe. That equates to, doing public math here, maybe $100 a week, if that. That is asking a lot. I do think it should be open for debate, but who's that debate for? That's for the public. That's for you, the voters, to decide whether or not it is in the best interest of our city to actually compensate city council.
Thank you. This next question, we will start with candidate Melpacum, move to candidate Rainey, and finish with candidate Schick. The question is, do you support nuclear power? 30 seconds.
Hello. Yeah, okay. It's advancement in technology, whether it's going to be nuclear power or recycling wastewater. These are all things that are going to be something that rapidly we would have to consider. If it can be safely harnessed, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Candidate Rainey?
Yes, I think we should start exploring that idea, but we have to take baby steps. We can't just jump in the deep side of the pool on this one. We have to do a lot of research at the state level and at the federal level. And also, we got to talk to people in the Department of Energy and actually see, for Colorado Springs, is this the right step in the right direction? But moving into the future, I do think we have to look at assessing whether or not this is a great way for us to move forward.
Thank you. And candidate Schick?
Yes, I think the nuclear reactor, if sodium reactors are very safe, there's like an automatic default switch. The reason they don't build sodium reactors is because if you mess up and it turns off, it costs the person who built it a ton of money because they kind of broke the reactor. If we did do something like that, that would very likely be, I think this question is pertaining to, are you for nuclear reactors here in town? I believe there is a safe way to do it. And so I'm not against saying no to that. However, I mean, this is a multi-decadal conversation, I imagine, that'll come up a lot. So yes, with safety.
Thank you. And this is our final question before we get to our closing remarks. We will start with candidate Rainey, move to candidate Schick, and end with candidate Melpacum. The question is, beyond the election, how will you learn more about ongoing concerns of city residents and engage residents to be part of the solutions? You have 1 minute.
I will continue to do the things that I've already been doing. As I mentioned before, I'm the chair for the Pikes Peak Area Council for Government Community Advisory Committee. Emphasis, Community Advisory Committee. My job is to make sure I'm out there talking to members of the community, getting feedback from them on issues of land, water, transportation, and bringing that back to that committee. I will continue to do that. Same thing with the school board. When I'm being currently on the Banning Lewis School Board, I engage with parents in the community all the time. And when elected to city council, that doesn't mean I stop speaking with parents. Matter of fact, it means I'm probably going to increase that a lot more, twofold. So I will continue to engage with people that are important to our community, because you've told me while knocking on doors, while seeing you in the supermarkets, that your voices have been left behind. So I got to make sure I stay in lockstep with you and tie in closely to your voice.
Thank you. And candidate Schick?
Yeah, how will we stay engaged with the community? I liked Rainey's answer. I will continue doing what I have been doing, engaging with people, going to special groups. I had the lucky and fortunate opportunity to tour 27 nonprofit organizations, part of Empty Stocking Fund. I got to see all the different groups. They're working tirelessly behind the scenes, putting the city back together every day and every night. There's outstanding groups, and I would love to continue to tour, continue to go to fundraising events, continue to get enriched by this wonderful town. I don't plan on leaving. I love Colorado Springs. I've called it home since I graduated college, and I look forward to helping being part of the solution as opposed to just complaining. Thank you.
Thank you. And candidate Mel Packham.
Thank you. Again, falling back on my school board experience, we have 50 plus schools in District 11, and I don't know everything that's happening in each one of those schools every single day. The only way I know about that is being at the grassroots level, visiting those schools, engaging with the teachers, engaging with the parents, engaging with the community. I will bring the same approach to City Council. This is a larger footprint. This is a nonpartisan position, by the way, so it doesn't matter whether you are Republican, Democrat. If I get elected to City Council, I represent all of you, so I'm open to sitting with you. I've got a proven track record where I engage respectfully. Civil discourse is a lost art in this day and age. People yell back at each other, and somehow that has become accepted way of communication. What you would get from me is professional engagement. Thank you.
Thank you, and that is the end of our audience-driven questions. We will now ask each candidate to finish with their closing statement. We will go in reverse order from the opening statements. So candidate Schick, you are first with your 1-minute closing statement, followed by candidate Rainey, and ending with candidate Malpacum.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the opportunity to share a little bit more about my position, a little bit more about the city. And I think this is a really good thing that we can do and kind of have an open public forum and discourse. My top recommendation is to go out and contact people you know who have not voted or are thinking about not voting. If you know a registered voter, odds are they're probably not voting based on this district. I think being responsible with your vote is extremely important, and this is one of those opportunities to do that. When you vote in the presidential election, you're not quite having nearly the reach or the touch that you will when you pick your city councilman. So please, you can call me anytime, you can text, you can email 719-930-2211. It's important. I will leave you with a quote. I've said this before. It's by Teddy Roosevelt. And since we're in a police station, I think it's extremely pertinent. Your vote is like a rifle. Its usefulness depends on the character of its user. So please be cautious and please be caring when you do the research this year. Do the research and please consider voting for me, Aaron Schick, for District 6. Thank you.
Thank you. And candidate Rainey.
Well, thank you all, those who actually came here today, and to everyone online. Thank you actually for your questions. Those were some great questions. First, I would like to say I am a proven combat leader. I've been there, and I've done that, and I've led thousands of Americans' troops. I'm a proven business leader. I'm a proven community leader, and I'm a proven educator here in Colorado Springs. Now, why is all of that important? Because you all are looking for someone to carry your voice on your behalf to City Hall and start working and able to hit the ground day one. I am that candidate because I bring the multitude of lenses that represent all of Colorado Springs. It's military, it's business, it's community. RolandRainey.com. Feel free to shoot me an email, go to my website, go to my Facebook page. I am the candidate who can hit the ground running day one.
Thank you. And candidate Mel Packham.
Again, thank you for hosting this forum. When you run for public office, often the most challenging thing is to talk about myself. It's often comes out as pretentious, so I'm not going to talk for myself. I'm going to read a couple of sentences from the endorsement I received from the Gazette. And by the way, the Gazette reached out to all three candidates, all candidates who were running, and all candidates got to participate in their interview process. And they endorsed me. In a city facing pivotal choices on growth, safety, and economic vitality, Parth Malpacum stands out as a proven leader whose intelligence, character, and selfless dedication have transformed lives and salvaged futures. For the past 4 years, Mel Parkham has served as a D11 board president, has prioritized student outcomes to deliver excellence in education. On issues, Mel Parkham's common sense approach shines. District 6 deserves a leader with a proven record of improving the community. Parth Mel Parkham's intelligence, integrity, and care make him the best choice for District 6. That's from the Gazette.
Thank you. Can we give a round of applause for our candidates, please? So that does wrap up our live and in-person and virtual forum for Colorado Springs City Council District 6. Again, we encourage all of you to please, please let those people know. It's a pretty simple ballot, actually, right? Shouldn't take you too long. And of course, we encourage you to, you can take up to 10 ballots. So if you don't want to put that stamp on it, there's obviously a league member who will come and get that for you. Help us improve District 6 voter turnout. And thank you for joining us this evening. These recordings are available on our League of Women Voters of the Pikes Peak Region website. And I forgot to mention, we are not just for women, even though that's in our name. We encourage men members as well. So please, if you are civically engaged, this is the perfect organization for you. Thank you so much for being a voter and an engaged voter. You can check out our YouTube channel under live and get this recording at a later date. Appreciate you all being here. Thank you.